Sri Lanka, welcome to a brand new week, a brand new show and a very, very brand new day. You are with me, Anupama, today, and I'm with my very wonderfully interesting co-host, Banu, who always doesn't forget to compliment me with a certain word.
And what's that word?
You tell him.
It depends from time to time.
No, it doesn't. You use the same word for everyone.
But you know, I feel very comfortable doing the show with you once again. Remember the first time that we did a show together?
Yes, we were just talking about it, right?
Yes, exactly. And you sang for the first time on the first episode of our relaunch show.
Just two lines, Banu.
Yeah, and today once again, hopefully. Let's see how it goes.
Hopefully, if our producers let us to do that. We are hoping that you're having a wonderful morning so far. How has your morning been? I hope that you're not getting too stressed out because it's Monday. And as we spoke about last week, today also we are going to have a very, very interesting topic. Today we are continuing the topic of weddings. Last week, if you didn't forget, we actually spoke about wedding dresses and wedding jewelry with very special and wonderful guests who were here and who shared a lot of insight with us. And today also we are going to have interesting guests who are into so many artistic things rather than wedding dressing itself. We have dancers, we have deco people, we have so many other interesting artists today that we are going to feature on the show.
So we are swifting from that topic to another element of weddings.
Yes.
And today it's on flower decorations. Yes. And on that note, we do have a video as well, Anupama, right? This is on how to make your own wedding centerpieces. If you're wondering if you're going to get married recently, you know, in time to come in the future, this might be helpful. So check it out on Good Morning Sri Lanka.
How to make your own wedding centerpieces. Save a little money and add a personal touch to your wedding ceremony by creating your own colorful wedding centerpieces. You will need 50 to 75 stems of flowers, a stem stripper, a knife, floral tape, a vase, and water. Optional, fruit or candles and floral foam. Step 1. Choose flowers that are hardy and that match the color scheme of the wedding. Avoid flowers taller than 12 inches as these are sight blockers. Consider using colorful and waxy fruit or candles as an alternative to flowers. Step 2. Remove unwanted foliage and thorns from the flowers with the stem stripper. Cut the stems at an angle 2 inches from the bottom. Step 3. Hold 4 flowers of the same height and arrange them in a square to form the center. Then add flowers one at a time to create a dome. Use floral foam to hold the arrangement in place if the vase is not transparent. Step 4. Bind the flowers together with floral tape 3 to 4 inches below the heads. Step 5. Hold the flowers up to the vase to see how much the stems need to be trimmed. Trim them at an angle. Step 6. Fill the vase 1 or 2 inches from the top with water, then place the flowers in the vase. Step 7. Store the centerpieces in a cool room and spritz them with water to keep them fresh.
Interesting, actually. It's such a coincidence that we're talking about how to make our own wedding centerpieces today, because one of my very closest friends is going to get married very soon, and there are so many weddings coming up during this year for me, Banu. How about you?
Not that I know of so far, but hope to get an invitation very soon, Anupama.
Okay.
Let's see in the future, you know?
Yes.
But for me, it's a long way there, you know?
Yeah, I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about your friends.
Yeah, but just want to have the focus on me for a little bit, Anupama, for once.
Right. Okay, yes, Banu, go ahead.
So to talk about this topic, which I think is very current and very trendy, of course, we do have a special guest on the show, just as Anupama told you before as well. So it's my turn. It's a turn now to introduce our next guest. She is none other than Nadisha Ferreira, who is a Deputy Sales Manager at Lasana Flora. So good morning to you, and welcome to the GMSL set.
Good morning.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
How are you so far?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay,
how
so
about you guys?
Good,
we
they're
are
doing terrific,
really
actually.
Good, and we're really privileged to have you here, actually, because we had a lot of guests regarding the previous wedding show, and we are really honored to have you here because like Banu said before, we're actually diverting slightly from dresses and from clothing to the setting and all those other deco, everything that is regarding deco about a wedding today. So all the people who are interested in getting married very soon or who are planning to getting married, today's show is going to be very interesting because we have a specializer of our own self right now. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Nadisha. How did you get into this business?
Actually, I didn't have any plans of getting involved with flower decoration when I was studying and when I was starting my work.
Okay.
But then again, after I actually started with a radio radio station. And then basically once when I'm visiting those hotels and the banquet halls, I always see beautiful flower arrangements, and then I thought of this should be my field, and then I joined La Sonoflora.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll go for the first question, which is regarding the topic as well. So many people, future married couples, are going to be thinking on the factors to consider when going for the decorations, the flower decorations. What are the tips and what are the factors do you have in mind?
Okay, I think they have to basically think of what type of a function they're going to have.
Okay.
It can be either church wedding or a Sinhalese Buddhist wedding with the Porwa ceremony, or maybe both, church and Porwa both. So and that's the Sinhalese, and then again we can either have a Tamil wedding with Manavara, and or else a Muslim wedding with the throne. So we have to basically they have to think what type of wedding they're going to have, and what type of thing they maybe, because any girl would dream about their wedding, right? So I think it's basically what they like to have. That should be the main tip, and then from then and there we can start.
And like you said, it also depends on culture, it depends on the religion of the people
Exactly.
who are getting involved.
And sometimes the parents are having some ideas for their children's weddings. So all these things we have to take into consideration.
How long should a couple start planning, you know?
How long before?
Exactly, how long before a couple should plan, you say 1 year or 2 years? How do you see that duration?
Okay, Banu, a good question, and it's actually we advise like them to start at least 1 year prior to the wedding, because then they have enough time to see and go around and do experiment and go through Google and search and go to the florist to discuss, go to the dresser and to other places and get a proper idea about everything, how it's going to happen, and then they have enough time to do it. And even I don't say this if the 6 months, 7, even okay, but if you have to have a proper wedding, you can at least 1 year in advance you have to plan it out.
I think the whole pre-planning and the resetting will be very interesting when it comes to decor, because some people tend to change their minds a lot. Like even last week we were talking, even when it comes to dresses and jewelry, people tend to change their mind a lot. So I think this whole plan of having a 1 year before the wedding is very interesting. Yeah, it's appropriate.
As fickle-minded, people tend to, change.
Well,
at
not
the last
everyone,
moment.
but there are.
But people are, because weddings are supposed to be very, controversial sometimes.
Yes,
It can differ at the last moment as well.
Yes.
It's time for us to take our first commercial break, but do not go anywhere, because after the break we are having a special segment, right, Anupama?
Oh yes, with Sam, with our own Sam, and she's going to talk about another interesting theme, slightly diverging from this theme that we are talking about right now, but Sam is going to talk about something very interesting after the break, and don't go away, we have very special guests coming up as well.
She tastes like cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she can't stop your diet, baby. You don't have to slim down, don't slim down. I love your curves, and believe me, it is every pound, every pound. Stop your diet, come on, do it for me, do it for me. I love you round, 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 'cause you're so sexy. Oh yes, she is. She tastes like cola, cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola, cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she tastes like cola, cola, sweet, sweet sugar cola, cola. When I took a sip from her lips, she sent me on a trip. She keeps me up at night, and it's all because she can't. Can I try it, baby? You don't have to be shy. Shy, shy, don't be shy. You seem to be on your own, and I'm wondering why.
Welcome back to GMSL, and I have a very, very special guest with me. He's actually the first second generation ballroom dancing teacher in the country. It is Mr. Ravi Diabro of the Diabro School of Dancing, and he's a very special guest because he has a huge legacy of dance behind him. Ravi, good morning.
Good morning.
And thank you so much for joining us on GMSL. Now, I want to start off our little chat with a very important question to me, because I was talking to you and you were telling me all these beautiful stories about the one person who really inspired you and pushed you in this direction.
Yeah, that's
Tell
right.
me about that very special gentleman.
It's very emotional, but that's my dad.
Okay.
He is like the most senior ballroom dance teacher in this country,
Okay.
and he's been living for 91 years.
I see.
Yes, he passed away like last year,
Okay.
and he has been teaching ballroom dancing for 55 years. in this
55
country.
years.
Started in 1954
Okay.
till 2009.
Okay.
That's the time period that he has been teaching ballroom dancing, and
And he was the first ballroom dancing teacher in the country, is it?
no, he was there were more ballroom dance teachers in his era,
Okay.
but not many like today.
Okay. Okay.
Today you get a lot of ballroom dance teachers, but not like that in those days.
I see.
And
And he had a
those
huge
were,
music legacy as well, you were telling me.
yes, I know. Yes, he was working at SLBC
Okay.
as a producer of ballroom music.
Yes.
So he was the first person to do a program called Ballroom of the Year in SLBC.
I see.
Yes.
So he took ballroom music to like the entire country.
That's right. Yeah,
Through radio?
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
And people and the ladies used to, like, I don't know, aunties used to love him.
It must have been such a treat for them.
Yes. I guess it's nice. It's a nice feeling to kind of give ballroom dancing to the people. Most of the people stay at home and they watch, and I mean they listen to music and all that. So a little bit of ballroom dancing would be nice
That's true.
for people, you know, apart from the other types of music.
And when did he inspire you to like take on dancing and put on your...
Actually, yeah, I don't think he didn't force me.
Okay.
To be honest, looking at him, watching him when I was 6 years old, it was all at my house.
Okay.
In Bambalapitiya we used to live, and the studio was in my place, same place. So
Okay.
when I come out of the room, I see people dancing from morning till evening. So that was a very, very nice sight.
Yes,
to
such
be
a good
honest.
childhood. So
Yes.
much music
I know,
and
music
rhythm.
and dancing and music and dancing. That's all I used to see. And he never used to force me and say that, you know, you should dance and all. When it comes to my mom, she never liked me dancing.
No.
Yes, that's how it is.
I see.
So,
but now you're a proficient dancing teacher.
that's right. Yeah, I don't think she still can believe that.
And you teach not just ballroom dancing, but also Latin American
Latin
dancing
American
as well.
dancing, yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that. What kind of scenario is the Latin American dancing scene in Sri Lanka?
Latin American dancing scene is very good, I
Okay.
would say, because there are lots of people doing Latin dancing today,
Yes.
and lots of teachers I see teaching Latin dancing, and they are very, very interested in teaching students to, you know, to come up, do competition dancing, medal test dancing.
And we saw a
things like
couple
that.
of dancers who I think were students of your students a few minutes ago on the show, who did a bit of a routine.
That's